da dee da.
Okay, we in here. We in here.
Da dee dee da dee dee
Miss Mary.
da. So we used to have this music.
He's trying to do an intro, bro. You're fucking
Yo,
trash.
no.
That's what he's doing. He's trying to be smooth with it, but
No, low key, we had this music teacher, Miss Mary, and she used to bring these blue sticks and bang them, dude. She used to be like, "Okay, class, TT, ta, say it with me," and then we would do this.
no,
shit.
it was T ta.
Oh shit!
You
I
said
forgot about that.
TT. I mean, there was some of those, but the most
What was it
normal
again?
shit was T ta ta. Like there were different songs, but T ta ta.
She had too many T's
Like
and
it's
too
like
many tas.
different rhythms and shit. You feel me?
She was zandied out.
The dogs.
Oh, of course I can. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot they need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we needed them to go.
Yeah, Aaron. So
Go ahead, JB. Let your niggas out. Let your dogs out.
let's see if they listen. Come on. Good.
Cujo said, "Fuck you, nigga." Come on. Let's go.
That's really.
Damn, Cujo really's not moving.
Cujo, come on. Get up. Come on. Get up. I don't know what he's gonna do.
They got water in their bowl?
Y'all gonna trust him? Fine. You guys your fault.
Yeah, that's trash, dude. Yeah, demons should go. Not Milton. It's funny because Milton said to me, like, you know, me and my brother are not the same, and people think that. And like, he's hurt by that. Like, he's hurt. Like, he feels like people.
He's immediately tied with him in people's minds, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, get out, Gus. Go. Yeah, go. Did they have water in their bowl?
John's putting some in there now.
Get out, Gus. Go.
Cujo.
Look at him trying to get that water. Though.
He's slick.
He eyed that water.
I should lick this.
For real. He eyed that water.
Tita. I know why you were talking about this.
Tita.
No, Loki, that Miss Mary was him, yes.
Ta.
Hey, Loki, we need to burn one
Yeah,
of
that's
those
good.
fucking Himalayan salt lamps.
Yeah, go get it.
Bitch,
I'm not gonna get that.
Nigga, what the fuck, nigga?
And we can hold that
Can you hear
stone.
me?
Huh?
Yeah.
Hey, hi, hello.
No, I know why you said that though. It's because we got Noah here.
No, oh yeah,
musical
Loki.
genius. You
Yeah,
tying them
that's
together.
yeah.
That's what
I'm
you
tying.
do.
Yo, complete circle. I complete circle everything. You know what I'm saying?
I like how Noah just laughs.
He
like,
laughed and shook his head
nah,
like, fuck out of here.
I'm okay.
So today
like,
we got Noah here. We got Noah in the neighborhood. Say what's up, Noah.
Take a look.
What's up, Noah?
hey,
What's in the book?
that's funny, dude.
Reading Rainbow.
You want to stop
Dude, I sampled that the other day.
Did you really? I'd love to hear that. What? Take a that was in a book. Damn. Okay.
Tried to pull a Kanye vibe and speed it up.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck.
Speed it up, pitch it up.
So yeah, Noah, tell us about yourself. So you're a musician, correct?
Yeah, I guess you would say that.
Or do you prefer just being called a musician? Do you produce? Do you kind of like?
I mean, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
You ask me, I'd say I'm a musician, but you ask my friends, they'd probably say that's that guy that hits things and makes a lot of noise. But
Right.
you know, I figure if you're gonna make noise, if you make noise in the right way, it's still music, right?
Dude,
Facts.
didn't we? You said that last week. You were like, no, fuck, that was Andy. We were talking about like how as humans we have the ability to distinctly put sounds together. Like we're the only kind of species. We're the only kind of species to arrange notes in a way that sounds.
We're the only species that like create music. Create like we take sounds and we put them together and we basically create things. We're creators.
Now I don't know about that. Because when you listen to animals, they sound like music too. Like no matter what they create and shit, but we're the ones that like, oh shit, that's some dope shit.
That's interpretation.
But also too, how do we know that they don't think the same thing? Right? Because they say, oh, dogs don't think this, you know, fucking butterflies don't think that. We never been in a fucking brain of a butterfly and figure why that motherfucker always like this. You feel me? So like we don't know. But that's
Flapping
music.
his wings and shit.
No,
Well,
but like the way you
say
fly.
this. Well, this was crazy. You think about whales. Now, in all honesty, when I was a kid, I was like super nerdy about whales, so I have all this wealth of knowledge. But it was before I got into music, the whale social system is more complex than modernized Western human society. They have more dialects in their language than all of the languages and dialects on Earth. It's insane. So you gotta think like,
Right.
if anyone or if anything is gonna have a sense of music or creativity,
That's dope. That's real.
Yeah.
I respect that.
We're all, every species brings something to the table, you feel me? Like, what if we could be like some super mutants where you just like get all these other abilities? But yeah, sometimes like that could be that human kind of what do you call it, like a superiority complex. Like, we the best shit, because low-key, we fuck up the environment. Like, the environment doesn't need us. Like, we don't give back in any fucking way.
It's like I said last week. It's like the Earth has a fever. It's trying to get rid of the virus,
this
aka
shit- hold
us.
up. This shit takes me back to the Bible, low key, because it's like, we're the fucking sin, dog. God created the world and the animals and whatnot, and then Adam and Eve, they were perfect too, but guess what they did? They fucking sinned. And why do you think we don't give back in the earth in any kind of way and we just fuck shit up? Like, in my mind, and it sounds demented, the only way we can fix our problems in the world is if we kill the species, and I'm down for it. Like, I'm down for all of us just dying. Because, like, no, for real, dude, I sit in my life, 23 years old, trying to figure out what life's about, and, like, sometimes I'm like, dude, just end this shit because it doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't. You feel me? And it's like, where do we even go after this? Because if we're going somewhere, I want to know right now. I don't know. I don't want to be old and wither away.
So let me ask you this. This goes to the film that you just watched about the children.
Yeah, what happened Monday? Yeah.
In terms of like how many children go ahead. Because I didn't watch it yet.
Well, I'll just tell you the premise. The premise is that the Earth's the number of individuals on Earth increases to the point where it's pretty much chokeholding the environment, and so they come up with this plan to ostracize or limit a family from having only one child in hopes of reducing population costs and food and things like that. But the plot is centered around how she's actually getting rid of them. So I hope you guys watch it, so I'm not going to give you too much, but it's just this concept of like utilizing a government in a way that says, let's actually restrict the problem, because after a while we won't have enough Earth if we keep fucking producing humans. So like at some point it's crazy to watch humans in charge of the demise of humans, but as evil as the individual was, she was aware that we were killing the Earth, and she was like, look, this is all we have. So it's a dope movie. It's on Netflix, and it just kind of talks about this idea of us being just, we feed and we don't give. So
I was just about to ask, where can we watch that?
it's on Netflix. Yeah, I just watched it last night. What happened to Monday? And the reason you'll find out is it right. You can find that below in the description. But no, it's centered around a character. That's why the title is What Happened to Monday. And, you know, I'll let you guys watch it, but it revolves around an individual story about this idea of life and human population and how we're killing the very thing that we live on.
Okay, let me ask you
What
this.
happened to Monday? What if that was a metaphor for like the first day and the second day? Because Sunday's the first day of the week, and that's God's day, and then the second day, Monday, is the dead,
You know
the
what?
bad
What's
side,
funny?
dark side.
It opens on a Sunday, and it starts with the symbol of a church, and the church bell in the background rings. So you might be onto something.
Damn.
You might be onto something.
Damn, that's crazy.
Symbolism
Damn.
in film is a big thing. I study a lot, so it's
Yeah.
funny.
Hey, how about the lack of symbolism?
We've talked about
Let's not talk about this fast food shit we've been seeing.
But it goes back to music. You feel me? Like the people who really about the music or the sellout
sure.
mainstream. You know,
for sure, and that ties back into
Star
us
Wars
talking
is
about-
becoming mainstream.
Exactly.
Star Wars always comes to
I
our
was gonna say,
conversations.
Star Wars always comes up, and we talk about
I
it
love
the
Star
first
Wars,
week,
but I hate the new ones.
that it's like the machine.
Hate the
that-
new ones. I always say everybody has two birthdays. They got their biological birthday, science, all that stuff, but then they got their birthday and the first time they saw Star Wars.
That's
I
a good
feel
point.
it. I saw it on VJ.
Both should be
VHS.
celebrated.
VHS.
Yeah, for sure.
Go back to what you were saying about it all connects to music.
Oh,
Expand on that.
it all connects to music, bro. Because thing is, like, when you see some of these films that quote unquote sell a lot of tickets, you feel me? Like, they're really trash. Like,
Right.
the storyline and whatnot. Some of the actors, right? They're literally just big names. You know what I'm saying? But it's like their acting skills are trash. You play the same role every time.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I don't see you doing a serious, a fucking, you're a timid role, a funny role. You know,
You
different
kind of
shit.
find your lane and you stick to it, and you're
Yeah,
like, all
like
right,
for instance, I like The Rock, but The Rock, you feel me? Like, he's in all these big
That's
budget
my
movies.
guy,
Oh,
but
it's
yeah.
gonna be the biggest movie. I love you, Rock,
but they're shitty movies,
Damn,
dude.
bro, you act
no
acting is
substance,
trash.
dude.
You feel me?
And he
Game
has
of
so
Thrones
much
got better
money.
actors.
Exactly.
They
He
gonna
has so
win.
much money that he could actually endorse amazing work because of the platform he has. But he keeps churning out this like. It's all about the dollars and how much you can add. What we used to call I learned it in school. But when you add money when you I don't remember when you add value
That's what
to
I say when I
a
took my
body of work
finals.
outside of the movie itself. So like Ninja Turtles when they first came out, New Line Cinema used their movie as a way to market toys and pizza. Like pizza had a sponsorship with them. So it's like when you utilize money in a way that allows the film to survive outside of just it being a movie. And I think that's kind of what Rock is leaning towards, like Jumanji. Why the fuck would they redo Jumanji? Like, it's shitty, but now they're like, okay, we could advertise fucking new Jumanji toys. That, you know, so it's all about how do we get more money out of it, not just being a movie. And that's where
they're recreating
like
history.
I'll give them that. Mona was good. I'll give them Mona because it was deep.
But I think there's something to be said about that though, because they're using art.
Yeah.
Granted, maybe not good art, but they're still finding a way to maximize how it influences culture. And I think that while it's trash a lot of the time, they find a way, like there's something to be said about its value.
For sure.
And there's something to learn from it.
In the way that they produce it, and the kind of idea.
Regardless of any
started-
success.
For sure. Yep. I agree.
And that's when I started liking Young Thug. Because I thought
good,
Young Thug
see?
was fucking trash and garbage. Because he was like, I was like, you know, in my best friend, my best friend. I was like, what the fuck? Why do people like this fucking trash? I came from the 90s, boom bap, Nas, fucking Tupac, you feel me? Big Pun. I was like, why do people like this shit? But then I really kept listening to it and I got fucked up. But the thing is, like, the vibe, you feel me? Like, he's very melodic and like you feel what he's saying. You feel me? Even though if it's like, bull, that's my best friend, but like you feel it. So yeah, you feel me? Like sometimes you look at someone at first and you're like, damn, it's trash. But you gotta just understand all components of the game. You feel me? Like on some Bruce Lee shit, Jeet Kune Do. Like you take what's value. I'm not gonna take your whole fucking style, but you got dope kicks and he got dope punches and he got good wrestling. So I'm taking all that shit so I can fuck everyone up. You feel me? But yeah.
It's like your favorite colors in a crayon box. You just
Straight
gotta
up.
pick and choose them. That's it.
Yeah, don't go for the fucking default box. Make your own custom shit. You talk.
Hey, let me play that song though. Talk about fast. Oh my god, we gotta listen to this shit.
what song?
Hold on, you haven't heard this?
Cardi B
This
and
new
Juicy
Cardi
J.
B and Juicy J.
Oh, you were
Hold
telling
up.
me about that when I came. He was like, "Yo, have you heard?" I was like, "No, what?"
Hold up. Let me.
After this, let's talk about Cardi B because I think
Oh yeah,
it's an interesting
She's very
dichotomy
important to
between what she's
society.
doing as far as
Especially
from
with that
television
ass.
to where she's at now.
the first stripper rapper, is she?
Here we go. Here we go. Listen to this shit.
To be on this level, yes, she is.
This level, yeah.
Like,
shit.
The first one though.
but I don't think.
Some bitches got a pussy like me. The fuck? Bitch can suck dick like me. Rap and spit on the dick at the same time. You always try to all up. Boy, you better fuck me all night. Boy, you better fuck me all night. Boy, you better fuck me all night. All night, all night. Boy, you better fuck me all night. Boy, you better fuck me all night. Boy, you better fuck me all night. All night.
Ready? Ready for this?
Nigga, what?
What, 42?
Bro,
Yikes.
doesn't Juicy have a family, fam?
I don't think so. He one of those old niggas that's still fucking hoes.
Let's Wikipedia that
He's
shit.
42.
Dude, that's the shit that they like though.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That was rough. Like, for
I
real.
low-key felt like I got
That-
fucked.
And I didn't want to get fucked.
Yeah, that's like, it was forced.
I've never been fucked before, but I definitely felt it right there.
I felt dirty after that song. You feel me? Like I need to take a
But
shower.
low-key is like,
That's fucked.
dude,
Boy, you better fuck me.
that's the type of shit-
He's 42. Yeah, he's 42.
42. How many kids?
I
That's
don't
the
know.
type. That's
Ain't
the
no
type of shit that I
DMX.
don't understand. It's like once you how do you age with music gracefully? You know,
I can tell you how.
Let's hear it.
A let's bring this full circle. We were just talking about how there's so much trash art that's influencing culture, but that there's still value in how there's influencing culture. The best artists and the artists that age gracefully, whether it's in hip hop and rock, whatever, are able to ride that balance of influencing culture but not sacrificing the art. So you got, but also influencing their culture and staying current as to what is happening in that culture. So you look at, I mean, let's just take hip hop. You look at artists like Common, that's been around since '89. You look at even Tribe with their new album after 12 years or however long it was. This, that boom bap type 90s hip hop that we were talking about earlier are staying relevant because they're not sacrificing the art that's made them famous, but also that they love, and still speaking to current culture. It's not like, let's live back in the 90s. It's right. Let's keep doing what we're doing, but adapt it to the culture now so that we get anthems like that song from Selma from Common and John Legend.
Exactly. Yep.
You know?
I totally agree with that. I think that you have to, that's the job of an artist, is to know how to let the art bend him, but also how do you still utilize what you were given as far as your unique eye, and then implement that within the art and how it bends now for society.
Yeah, and check this, it's like too, it all stems from the root of why you do things. What's the motive? You feel me? Because the artist is always going to be true, but a lot of people doing music for money.
I see where you're going.
You know what I'm saying?
I totally see where you're going.
Hey, same thing happens in UFC. Now there's a lot of fighters that fight for money, and they don't fight like the old school guys I saw coming up with that. Literally, they didn't make shit, bro. It was like $100, $200 a fight, and you're fighting bare knuckle. Hey, if you get fucked up and you end up in the hospital, that's on you, dog. But the thing is, like, they fought for like honor. You feel me? Like they fought for the martial arts. So it was different.
It had a different meaning as to why they were doing it.
So we could even talk about what the fuck do we value in America now, you feel me? Like, what are the meanings we give to kids? Because it's like, I feel like our society is changing and it might not be as good as it was or perceived as.
Well, I feel like they don't invest in the right things. Like, look, they took away music from like how many schools?
A lot.
Cutting a lot of programs. I feel we are being trained to be factory workers in the factory.
100%.
And the factory doesn't exist as we see it, as the four walls and greasy and the factory is everywhere. The factory is in the Uber car. The factory is in the tech company. It's in the campus. It's in the this and this that. So they just designing us to go from building to building to building, operating.
A cubicle is a cell.
With some nice windows.
Nice windows, shit, bro. I remember being fucking in my 9-to-5 cubicle shit. I used to stare out the window on the 16th floor. I remember being a kid and I was like, God damn, I never knew how much I would miss playing outside. I just seemed to be trapped in this building all day, and when I get out, the sun's going. I go up when the sun's coming up, and then when I leave, the sun's going down. I'm like, where the fuck did the day go? And this is life. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, dude, I love Dad, you feel me? Because God bless him, he gave us the life that we have, you feel me, for his job. I'm like now that I see what he worked for, I'm like, holy fuck, I would not be able to show up for this. Thank God I don't have fucking kids, you feel me? Because I'd be fucking up right now. Your daddy's a loser. All he does is get high, make music, and he working part-time at Apple. This shit, he go make some money, fucking. What's wrong with him? He went to UC Davis. Why he making $50,000
Sounds like
shit?
Dad's living the dream right there.
Yeah, you feel me? That's what I'm saying, because it's like, this shit is crazy, dude. But our values change. We're the hippies of our generation.
But the thing is like, back to the music thing, I think we need to be able to dibble dabble on everything equally. And I think they're not trying to have us do that. By they, I mean, like DJ Khaled said, they. Right. No, but I really mean they, like the systems that are in power right now.
They. Right.
I'm serious, It's like,
play yourself.
Don't play yourself. We getting played every fucking day, man. Shit.
Yeah. Damn.
Every time I answer a question about a goddamn password, I'm fucking getting dumber and dumber as the days go on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the simple task, we have to stop helping people out with the simple task in life, We need to learn how to
figure it out.
I mean, shit, you got to fall and eat shit, maybe lose a tooth or two, like, in order to understand life,
I understand. You're pretty much saying we're pan feed or hand feeding a lot of this shit.
I like pan feeding. That's a little bit better.
It's like
that's truth.
It's just like, okay, this is how you do this. And then each time you have a problem, just come back here and I'll help you solve it. Rather than actually saying, damn, okay, he taught me how to do that, but how do I implement what he taught me and say, fuck the Apple Store, how do I figure this out on my own? So it's almost like a dependency.
Yo,
We are becoming highly dependent. That's our society. We have to be dependent on each other. We have to be dependent on everything.
But what you talking about, the password and whatever shit, it's like, dog, like, also we have to do our job of teaching people. Because the thing is, like, a lot of times they're like, look, you do this, you do that, boom, boom. It's like, you're not teaching them. I know when I teach people, they like, especially the old ladies, because they really don't know how to do, not all of them, but, you know, they're like, they don't know how to do shit. And it's like, look, you go right here. I don't even do it with my finger. I'm like, now tap on general. You feel me? Do about, boom, boom, boom. And
But let me ask you this then. Do you think, full circle,
what?
music, teaching, there's not that many teachers out there. I think people are learning from non-craftsmen.
There are a lot of teachers, but teachers
No, I'm
not
talking about
always teaching the traditional sense. Teachers,
no, I'm talking about teachers in terms of the
Teachers are
traditional sense
everywhere.
as a teacher was teaching you
mentor,
skills.
A mentor. That's
Yeah,
what you're
it was a
saying. Not
mentor, but it was
a
teaching you.
mentor.
It was teaching you skills.
But a
to
teacher and a mentor are two different things. You feel me? A teacher would be like, "Hey guys, 2 + 2 = 4." Right. I'm like, "Hey, 2 + 2 = 4, but you my nigga, and I see potential in you, so I'm gonna teach you 3 + 3. I'm gonna teach you 4 + 4, motherfucker. I'm gonna teach you 10 times 19. You feel me? On some unorthodox shit. So you're ready. That's a mentor.
Yeah.
That's 190, by the way.
Easy. Just add the 0. You feel me?
You tell me that.
But we talked about that back on the last week about mentorship and like, you know, we were talking about Biggie and Diddy, and this kind of idea that they saw potential. It was like, I see more than just teaching you 2 + 2. I see if I taught you 2 + 2 + 6 + 9, you could actually get these equations together and make something really happen and shake the world up. And that's what Diddy did to, because you said it, you're like, who the fuck was Diddy before Biggie? Nobody. But he took time to mentor and say, damn, look.
Yo, oh my God. And he worked for like a record label and he fucking left.
Damn.
You feel me? So essentially he was like, man, fuck this 9 to 5 shit. They don't believe in my vision.
Exactly. You see
He's
what
like,
I'm
I'm gonna
saying?
make some own shit, his own shit. And now he's a fucking Don.
Yeah.
The Don.
The Don.
You say
He's the
Diddy, yeah,
fucking
you
Don.
know who we talking about, Diddy. What? He was
He has
Harlem
multiple
Shaking
names.
and shit.
Sean
Yeah.
Combs,
Sean
Puff
Combs.
Daddy.
And he changed his name
Puff.
like 45 times.
Puff was able to recognize game, sacrifice his game, his personal game.
That's a good
and
point right
gains
there.
To manifest that in big.
For sure.
So because he saw the long game. He was playing the long game. He saw the end goal in sight. Now, Puff, say what you will about his ability, his what's the word I'm looking for? The controversies around him being on every other track and, you know, trying to rap himself.
Right.
Maybe he should have just left out of that. But
And then he was rapping.
Right.
promotion, business, he was able to sacrifice what his original passion was in order to help someone else and then become an empire
Yeah.
But
and discover new passions because of it.
and we're losing that. We don't have people doing that. And that's what we talked about with George Lucas. We were like, why aren't artists or influencers? I like to call them influencers because I think George Lucas influenced a generation of film. How come he's not using that potential? He's done now. He gave up Star Wars.
He ain't done.
What is he gonna do?
Oh, you talking about Diddy? Or you talking
We're
about George? I was about to say Diddy ain't done. Diddy basically saying,
George,
"Look,
George
I got."
ain't done either. George
No.
can make some new shit.
That's what I'm saying, though. But do you say, all right, look, I'm gonna make some new shit, or am I gonna try to invest? Because he's getting fucking old. I mean, at some point, you're gonna pass your legacy on. Do you pass it on to someone, or do you just let it go to the grave?
But his heart's still beating. What you doing with this life? You feel me?
I feel
Well,
it.
you look at, who's a perfect example of someone who's maybe another perfect example of someone who's sacrificing their personal gains and their original vision for the sake of passing the torch to the next generation is Nas. Someone who hasn't put out a real solid record probably in at least 10 years, but has put out little things here and there. But
He about to put
supposedly
on
there's
some
an
work
album
with Nicki.
cover.
That's what I know.
Supposedly there's a record coming, but the last 5 years or so, he's been able to really invest in other rappers, whether that's Bishop Nehru in New York, or it's J. Cole, or even in other arts like his niece who's on that show. Blackish.
So let me ask you
Or
this.
even the
Who's
album
now
he-
like blowing up, like
Crazy.
being able to really invest in how to run that kind of business as yourself as a business, but also how to stay true to your art. And I think that we need more people like that are willing to say, you know what, my time of being the art and being the performer is done. We gotta pass the torch to the next generation.
I'm not the fighter. I'm the coach.
Oh,
You feel me? Yeah, that's dope. I like that.
I was gonna ask. No, I'm not the fighter. I'm the coach. What happens if? Okay, I'm gonna dibble dab on some gossip.
You gotta be Gandalf.
Nah, low key,
What?
Nas. I think is gonna be Gandalf to fucking Nicki.
I love how you say Gandalf. Say it again.
Gandalf.
The way you
Gandalf.
said it, I thought I was watching Lord of the Rings.
Low key, Nas as a teacher. I think that's why Nicki's with him right now, because Nicki's like being seen with him, and I just have a funny feeling like her rap career needs a new like oomph. It needs a new jump to
She
it.
need bars. She don't
She
have
need
fucking
bars.
bars.
Nas about to teach her
She
those
doing?
bars.
Bro, she just done her little like step and says some shit in her weird voices. Nah, whatever.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna push back on that because I think Nicki has bars, but she's.
Nah.
I think. But this
can't
is
agree.
this is the thing. Like this is the thing that drove artists of the past to leave their labels. Like Prince couldn't even go under the name Prince anymore. He had to change his name to a unpronounceable symbol because he was being forced down a corner that he didn't feel was his forte or where he wanted his vision. And so I think what's happened to Nicki is I think Nicki's got bars. You listen to her old stuff. You listen to
Oh, for sure. But she ain't
But-
spinning nothing right now. That's what I'm
because- but I
saying.
think
That's his point.
That's label pressure. I think that's the ultimate point.
So
is
it-
that it's label pressure. It's not.
So they
by
telling her
choice.
constantly talk about pussy,
Right,
this.
exactly. Because she's become like a sex symbol.
I think low key, though,
what makes money in female rap?
I
Not spitting
I
bars.
feel you.
Look at
I
Lil'
feel
Kim.
you. Yeah.
What happened to her?
But I feel
Look
you
at
on
Remy
that. But
Ma. Remy Ma's
Hey,
still
sucking
trying
dick.
to live off the 90,
low key,
92, you know?
low key,
Just not gonna happen.
she wanted to be like Lil Kim, and low key, I think
Lil' Kim wants to be like Lil' Kim.
She wants to be. She wants to be sold out. That's at least that's how I feel. It's like, yeah, it's label pressure, but she don't give a fuck. She's like, I'm making money. You feel me? Because if I was quote unquote under label pressure, I'd be like, nigga, fuck this shit.
So
I
let
pull
me-
a Dave Chappelle.
Let me ask you this then, because
I'm
we
done.
just listened to that Cardi B track, and it's like she talking about sucking
Full
dick and
circle.
shit. Full circle. It's like Nicki now saying, "Oh, wait a second, I gotta change it up because low key Cardi B doing it hotter than me, and
But
I
yo,
need to
but
come
low-
back and
but
show
low
them
key-
how the spit will come out."
Cardi
know
coming
about
from
that.
the strip club, dog.
I call
different
Cardi B-
mentality.
I call Cardi B the less good Nicki Minaj.
For sure.
Personally.
Hands down. But I think people can relate to Cardi a little more because Nicki has gotten to a point where she's like, I'm making money now, fuck it. And Cardi still
Cardi's still preaching the come up.
and Cardi
come
was,
up and she ratchet.
was a less version of where Nicki was when
ratchet.
Nicki first came out.
People like ratchet.
And that's why
Nicki
people
too
love
pop
Nicki.
now. Nicki
Exactly.
too pop.
Nicki came
She
out,
ain't
she was
ratchet.
too ratchet.
She a
was like,
Barbie.
Oh, fuck yeah, fuck. Now no one's
This other
rapping her
bitch is
lyrics
the
no
ghetto
more.
Barbie, bro.
Cardi B, she's in an interesting position, I think, as someone who's still very much about the old way of doing,
Do you think it was
hip hop and R&B. I think she's in a very interesting position with the amount of influence she's getting and the kind of stuff she's talking about. Go ahead.
I think she'll stay?
I think she'll stay for sure.
I think she's in a position. She's at a crossroads and she doesn't know it. And I think she's at a crossroads where she needs to decide if she's going to go the mainstream, Nicki Minaj route, if she's going to go the super hood ratchet route, or if she's going to find a way to ride the balance.
I low-key
I
think
agree.
Offset, I think Offset is essential to that crossroad.
But
and that's why she's together
And I
with
think
him.
she needs to maybe dip into the past a little bit.
Yeah, I think to
I
Noah's
think
point, like
Offset's
She's going to
gonna-
run out of content.
she
pretty
has
quickly.
For
two
sure,
options.
for sure.
She could change to the culture, or she can like create her own. And I think that's what she's gonna have to do. Like you saying, Offset, like Migos got their own flow, they got their own swag, they got their own sauce, they got
And
everything
they've been
they own.
consistent with that.
The thing is, Cardi B needs to get her own. What is
Right,
her
and
own?
I think Offset is going to cultivate that in her. I think he's going to show her, like, look, this is how you still be a boss, but not conform.
Look at this. I think there's been a pretty large gap in female hip hop
Hell yeah.
For sure.
since the real. When was the last time we had a real MC?
Yeah,
I mean,
we haven't.
we haven't had one.
Oh, that's what you said?
Mine, I
You
thought
look
it,
at-
though.
Yeah, I think Missy.
Missy, dude.
Well, Missy, yeah, that's the last.
Underrated.
Missy and Miss Lauryn Hill and
Yep.
Yeah, but Lauryn Hill was before. But
Yeah,
I fuck with
but
Lauryn Hill the
you
most,
look at,
so
you look
yeah.
at people like that, and you're like, where's
Damn,
that
Missy,
now?
God.
We've gotten to the point where they're coming back around. They're coming back around and playing festivals because we don't have anything like that now.
Yeah.
Cardi B's in a position where she could be that, but she's got to make a decision if she's going
Yeah,
to
she's
go
not gonna
that
be that.
ratchet pop life, or if she's
She's
gonna,
not gonna be that.
if she's going to find a way to use her
She
talents.
might. I think
Nah,
she understands
nigga,
that there's
what the
money in her
fuck?
ratchet
Nah.
her ratchet life.
Yeah.
I think she understands that that's what her her embolism is. She's like, okay, this is me. So I kind of think that she knows that she could profit more
So,
off
hey,
of
real
being
quick,
ratchet.
let me ask you this question then. It's like what we were talking about last week. Who mentors her so that she does become
Offset.
that avenue? Are you sure it's Offset?
I'm positive. I know they're early in the game, but I do think that Offset has realized that ever since, who said I was left off of Bad and Bougie?
Time out. No, what? No, take off. But check this out.
Oh, my bad, yeah.
But who made Bad and Bougie? Who made Bad and Bougie?
Quavo.
Who made it? No, nigga. Quavo usually makes most of it. I'll break it down. Who made Versace?
I don't know.
Who made that song? Quavo. Quavo made that song. He's the reason why you like that song. Versace, Medusa. I mean, like, I'm the Minati.
I see
like,
what you're
he's
saying.
carrying the song. Who made Fight Night?
I see exactly
Who
what
made
you're
Fight
saying.
Night?
Damn.
Take Off. I'm gonna beat the pussy up. Like every Migo,
Like it's Fight Night.
every
Yeah,
Migo,
hit it
every
to the
Migo
left.
had a hit. You feel me?
Damn.
Quavo has the most hits. That's why he's like, the top don, like popular wise. You feel me? He has the most star power because he has the most hits.
I feel it.
But the thing is, doesn't mean he's the best one. You feel me? And Bad and Bougie was Offset. You feel me? That was Offset's record. That was the first time
Bad
Offset
Bougie.
actually popped
Yeah.
off on a hit.
Yeah.
My bitch is bad and bougie.
And that's why
he says the
didn't
whole
get
tone.
Yeah, exactly.
And Quavo
Damn.
does his thing, and then it was yeah. I'm like, okay, like shut up. You
And that's
feel
why
me?
people were like, oh,
Yeah, like come on, man.
Be gone, please.
I'm a rock star.
Damn.
Like, all right, dog. Nah, but what was I gonna say? Oh, so his bitches are bad and bougie. What is Cardi B? Bad and bougie. Oh shit, hello.
Exactly.
Yo, what if he made that record when he was already dating Cardi B? Don't know, but that's a
We don't know,
possibility.
right?
I think
Cardi B was rapping for a minute,
That strain is going to be short lived.
Yeah, I feel you.
Going
Same,
that
I
trying
agree.
to promote that Bad and Bougie doesn't have lasting power.
It doesn't.
What especially
Who's listening to it right now?
right, but also especially, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's
I
fun
feel you.
music.
I love that
it's
song.
great to listen to. Especially when you're out.
Yeah.
But what are people going to be talking about 10 years from now?
Yep, not that.
What happened with what set Missy, Lauryn Hill, Left Eye? What set these women apart
Real life.
in their time?
Real life.
Real life.
Real life that we can relate
Real
to,
life
the stuff
and-
they're saying.
and not catering to a culture that's about being ratchet, but a culture that's about being a woman.
Yeah, for sure.
And being successful, being sexy, being ratchet, but with the lens of we're still, what did Beyonce say? Like all our women are independent. Being independent and being yourself. Like that's what set those women as MCs apart from the competition, the Lil Kims and the stuff like that. Like we don't have that now. It's all this. Let's just fall into this ratchet Hollywood culture, but Cardi B is in this position where she could be that if she wanted to. Yeah. With the right writers, with the right producers, she could be that bridge between the ratchet hip hop Hollywood culture and what it means to be a woman in that culture.
I don't think she's gonna do it.
I don't either.
Her
I
butt's
think
fake.
that's too. Her butt's fake.
You feel me? Like, look at the culture you're
Yeah.
representing right there. Hello, if a woman was in that culture, nothing on her would be fake. I am who I am. I'm beautiful.
I mean, look at Missy.
Feel me? She
Right?
chilling. It's a different mentality.
Different, for sure.
And then there's just some women like that are just naturally gifted, like Erykah Badu back in the day.
Oh my God. Erica Badu, she's gorgeous, man.
Oh,
It's
man,
just
she's so
natural.
gorgeous.
Oh my God. She's like she doesn't age.
Nope.
She's taking care of herself though. That's what
Talk about ratchet. She's been around the block though.
dude.
Common, Andre 3000.
Come on, talk about
JB
it.
said, I'm
dude,
next. He said, I don't care, I'm next.
Man, she's like it's just something about her. It's just Erica,
Touch-
man.
touch
It's
the
like
nerve.
damn. No, because that's like the embolism of what it means to be a strong black woman, especially in the music industry. And I think that's what I admire. And I think that's what I admire about Missy. That's why I got geeked. It's like you see the staple of what womanhood was when black artists were around, like Erica and Missy. It was a different kind of image. And I think we've lost that kind of sight. And that's why I get
and I think it was
so excited about
We
it.
had that kind of image because they made that. They
Right.
made that their thing and they made it popular.
That's what they were about.
They made it a point not just to talk about, but they made it a point that you knew that they believed in it, and they
Agreed.
found a way to tie it into.
But this is why
American hip hop culture.
I
And
agree
we've
with you, but
lost
this
that
is
connection.
This is why I agree with John though, is because he's like, how they were able to say this is what I stand for, and I'm gonna stick with it and make that popular. But people like Cardi and Nicki, I don't think they have the actual willpower to say, I'm gonna just be pretty as fuck and do me and not have to worry about how my titties look or the outfit that I'm wearing.
Not that they don't have the willpower, they choose not to. Because
that's what I'm saying. It's a
that
choice.
Is what they stand for.
What they stand for.
Everything like a rapper saying whatever, or singer, that's what they stand
and
for.
hip hop was so young then. Hip hop is the culture is so popularized now as far as the business side of things that the contracts are airtight, that they're not even allowed to even mention that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Because contract forbids them from it. They gotta purport an image and they gotta stick to that image or they're gonna get dropped.
I wouldn't sign.
Yeah, I can see that. No, look at Yachty.
Does somebody like
No,
no, that's what I'm saying. At what point does somebody like Def Jam or at what point does Def Jam come in and say, you know what, like we see what you would like to do, or we see this opportunity.
But that doesn't make money.
We need to jump. It can make money.
But then that doesn't make money right now. They're not interested in the future. They're like, what makes money right now? The perfect example of that is look at Yachty.
But look at Def Jam. If Def Jam starts promoting that image, people will follow. It's the most successful record company in the world.
Who's Yachty under right now? Because he's like the biggest one getting attention.
But 300.
But who's the parent company?
I don't fucking know.
Because that's who's going to control it.
I think.
Who?
I think it's Sony, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, because the thing is,
who the fuck are they tied to?
I feel like they had chances. They had chances to invest in artists that were promoting that, and they were like, nah, it's not going to make us any money at the moment. We're not into that. Because you said who's the company?
It's Capitol.
Capitol Records.
Fuck Capitol Records.
Yeah, come on, dude. Like,
yo, but back to the motive, dog. It's like, I feel like I don't agree with that whole label shit. That's like, that is what they're doing, but it's like, as a person, like, in my opinion, that's when I become a math teacher. You feel me? That's when I'm like, nigga, fuck this music shit. Like, and I tell everyone, it's like, yeah, you want to do that? I'm gonna tell you exactly what this is about, and maybe you don't want to go down this path because they're gonna fucking make you sell your shit, like, and don't fuck with it.
I'm not a solo artist, but I try not to mess with labels as much as possible when I'm working. But I think I'm having a slightly like 1 foot in, 1 foot out perspective. I think the future for pop music, hip hop, R&B is what we see in the success of, like, say, the Kendrick Lamars, the Top Dog Entertainments, the independent small companies that then market themselves well enough to where they can get to be a subsidiary of a major label like Republic or Capitol, but on their terms. So they can get the funding, they can get the backing, they can get the success and the promotion. That's good. But they can be the ones to dictate how that happens.
Oh, you're talking about like a Russ, right? You're talking about like a joint venture kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
They're able to still get into the public eye, but they get to do it on the terms of their own art, you know? They get to have the control.
They have the fans too, low key, and they already like kind of have their independent, in a sense, venture. Yeah.
Based on what they believe in, doing what they believe in.
Essentially, if this was like a war table, I come to the table, like Russ, he comes to the table, he's like, yo, I'm selling out shows, what's good? I got fans. What are you going to give me? You feel me? How are we going to make money together? But yeah, like, when someone sign off the back, what is it like? What's the typical deal? Like $1 million like record contract?
It just depends.
Right.
Depends on your level of level of influence already. But that's the thing. Like, so much of contracts nowadays is determined by your level of influence that you're coming in with.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
good.
So it puts you in a position of power.
Mm-hmm.
But these people who are able to sign these like more ratchet artists real quickly, they offer them a lot of money. Get them all flashy-eyed, starry-eyed and stuff, and then they're like, they sign you, and then you're theirs. They own you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what, the Top Dog Entertainment, small companies like that, even back in the day, like Good Music and Kanye, like that's what they're trying to break. And they've been trying to break that influence and that control that that executives can have over the art.
I agree with
do it
that.
on their terms.
where are a lot of people from though? That are getting signed, especially like in hip hop though.
They're all from the hood. They don't have economic
Damn, I was
backgrounds.
broke and I made it. Damn, good for you. But the thing is, like, yeah. So in a sense, sometimes they're like, damn, I gotta get this money. You feel me? Like,
and that's they're being taken advantage of.
yeah,
It's
they're taking
economic
advantage
injustice.
of. Yep. It's capitalism.
When we just talking about that, Aaron, on the walk, we were like,
You said
black
capitalism too?
families individual.
Hell yeah. Hell
Black
yeah.
families at the individual level are told that we have to hustle in order to, a 9 to 5. You need that money, and that's it. And so,
Go outside. It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. Can we put the fan on? Put the fan on. Let's see how it sounds.
It's gonna sound bad.
You don't know, bitch. Shut up. It's just lying.
I need to get one of those like ones that don't make noise.
What fans that don't make noise? What the fuck?
You know those ones that are like the black vans and shit.
It's faint.
Slightly.
Wait.
It's chill. It's not. I mean, it's not bad.
You can't hear it over the voices.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Damn, Aaron ain't no AF. It is hot, bro. I was hot as fuck for
Yo,
a
let's go
minute.
outside for like.
Why were y'all
like
dying?
15
Why are
Yeah,
y'all
we
dying,
can take a
dog?
break.
Why-
Yeah, let's take a break.
That was Logic Pro.
John, move your fat head ass.
We were at Devin's house.
No, I'm trying to see if am I coming through
I saw you fucking it up.
Hold on.
on the
Headphones on.
yeah, I'm still in. I'm good.
Make sure I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Everybody talk?
Yeah. 1, 2. Check these nuts.
Check. Yeah,
That's dope.
I can hear. Okay, so I was in the Uber the other day, and I was trying to talk to this older lady about how, millennials
Damn,
weren't
boy.
set up for success, and her response was, "Oh, the reason millennials feel like they haven't been set up for success is because they're lazy. They don't do anything. They don't really work hard." And I'm thinking in my head, "Oh my God, if she only knew what I've been through." You know, I'm not saying that I freaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just work ethic wise, like, that bothered me. She's like, millennials are lazy and they don't know how to work. So it's like, is that really the truth? Do we not know how to work? Do we not have opportunity? I don't know.
I think what older generations don't realize is that we're the first generation to really have grown up with the internet. And so it's easy when you don't have the internet to be like, I mean, all you know is what your parents allow you to know as a child. You have no access to information at your palm print or your fingerprints like we do now. Fingerprints. We could
Apple 10.
we have a question. We want to learn about something. In 30 seconds, we could know enough facts to hold a conversation with anyone.
Very true.
You just need willpower.
And we're really the first people to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so I think that we have a larger perspective on what life is like. And so I feel like when you have more information, it makes it harder to choose. You know, plethora of choices, harder to pick one, right? Whereas before you were raised with a pretty clear indication of what you were going to do for the rest of your life.
Facts.
But why? So then, why would she equate that to a sense
Laziness?
of laziness?
I think
Because at one
it
point I
takes
can
us.
respect what she's saying because of the fact that we have so much access to things much easier. But like,
But I think that because of that, it takes a lot more deliberation and creative thought to find what path you're going to take
That's
in
good.
life. It takes longer. 25 is the new 21.
yeah, very true.
I fuck with it.
Damn,
You know, I just turned 26
true.
and I felt like 25 was what
damn.
everyone expected me to be at 21.
Yo, we live longer. You
Or I
feel
was
me?
raised to believe what 21 would be. But now that I'm 26 and I'm looking at my peers and
Yeah.
I look at my siblings who are 22 and 21 and 17, and I'm seeing like the life they're living, and it's so different
It's
from mine.
so
And
different.
it's my 17-year-old sisters. We're almost 10 years apart. But oh my gosh, just in 10 years, the world has changed
Wow.
so much for people that age.
Facts. That's true.
That's funny because my brother's the same way. He's 18, I'm 25, and so I'm like, damn.
Well, the thing is, the generation gap is not what we think it is. It's like 5 years. You know,
Right,
there's
right.
someone
We
that's going to
see
be
it.
5 years younger than you or 5 years older than you that you're not going to be able to connect
No
with
way.
because the thing is you see things differently. Hence why I feel like millennials in general are just connected from. I think anyone could be a millennial. I think like a 6-year-old could be a millennial. Like a 15-year-old could be a millennial. A 30-year-old. It's
they're
the
a whole
people
nother
that are all
category,
connected.
dude.
I agree with you, John. I think it's a whole other caliber as to what
Bro, these
that,
niggas
that
coming in with
name is.
iPhones. you feel
Exactly.
me? Sophia playing with an iPhone. You didn't have an iPhone till when?
I didn't get mine in my junior year. of
4
high
years
school,
ago?
dude.
We're like the grandmasters that were like claused in. You know how you were claused into the
Damn.
data plan? Yeah, because we were with the start of the internet. And when did grandma get internet? She didn't get internet till later, you know? But yeah, dude.
Also, but you know, JB, to your point, I think, and to the lady's point a little bit, I think that because that perspective or outside perspective of laziness comes from because of all the options we have and because of the internet, our culture has turned into a much more sensory culture. And we want to,
sensory.
And by sensory, I mean, like, we are more obsessed with pleasure, and pleasure is so easily sought and found. And so, sort of, but
sin is pleasure.
That's true. Not always. But pleasure's not always sin.
That's true. That's
right?
true.
That's
but sin is pleasure.
But I
for
think,
a season.
I think that with the plethora of resources of that pleasure now, with the internet and with everything, and with just technology in general, we often are we're a much more distracted generation than generations past.
Hands down.
But that's not our fault, I guess is the point. So I get it from an outside perspective, how it looks lazy.
Yeah, I
how
totally
it
agree
looks
with
like
100%.
we're not actually on the real. But yeah, I think that that's not our fault. That's just we're a product of the advances we've made.
We're experiencing the Wild Wild West right now. We're trying to figure out how to survive in the Wild Wild West.
That's a great analogy.
Because it's like there's all these new industries, there's all these new technologies, there's all these new ways of communication. I mean, this in itself, there's all these new ways of broadcasting information. There's so much information out there, but it's so wild because no one even knows how to really structuralize it. I think that's what we're still trying to experience is how do we take all this technology and actually structure it in a way that is positive for society. I think it's like what we were talking about in terms of social media with relationships and how it could affect relationships. Like people don't even know how to grasp that still. Social media, is it social or is it more media? Am I consuming more media on it or am I socializing more? You're like split.
Well, I think it also speaks to the fact that we were on the cusp of the generational turn. Because, think about it. I do remember when I had to, call the number for the movie theater in order to find ticket times. So, we dabbled in the old, but then we also were brought up in the new. So, I think, that's why we're so important is because we kind of are in that middle between the people who think we're lazy and then those who are coming up. And like you said, in 5 years, that gap is huge, and you would think only in 5 years it wouldn't be, because I think we still have this idea of what used to be, and we were also a part of what it could be, and then we're also seeing what's it coming, and so it's
the transition.
Yeah.
So no, hold up, go back to what you said, Aaron, about social media, because what you were trying to say was that hold up that wait that media, social media is more of a media than socializing. It should be called media social. So if you think about what media traditionally did in a conspiracy theorist mindset, is that media programmed you to be a certain way. They programmed you to control you. So going back to your idea of social media and redefine it as media social, they're programming us to be the certain way. I gotta be like Kylie. I gotta be like this person. You feel me? There's these images that we're chasing. Damn, that looks dope. I want that too. So it's I think that's what you're talking about, no? The vibe.
Yeah, I think it's the vibe, but it's more of why are we having these issues? We're having these issues because, like I said, information is just out there, but social media is a big thing right now in terms of the way people access information. I mean, just look at Instagram alone. It went from a platform that was for photography and very sensual, I don't know, there's things the simple things in life, and now it's YouTube with Facebook, with Twitter, with Snapchat, with it's everything. It's everything that you possibly can think of. It's it's like a network channel of information.
That's good. I want to go back to your little nugget about vibe versus, what was the word you used? You said we it's all a vibe, but then there's also was it a purpose or drive or vision. I can't remember what you said something about that.
Kylie and stuff.
Yeah. Kylie. Oh no, that was the idea of how Aaron was talking about social media, but the more emphasis on the media side, like not like socializing in media, but it's media that we socialize in. So it's actually like, remember how we used to watch TV
it's
and
programmed
shit?
us to be about a vibe, not about a message or a. You said a little one sentence about something like that. But anyways, it reminded me full circle about what we were saying earlier about like Cardi B and that rift in like female hip hop and just hip hop in general is just at what point does the obsession of the vibe cost you to not care about the vision or the message or the purpose or the story? And I think that balance is where true, honest, like perfect creation lives, and being able to speak to both.
Can you unpackage that a little? What do you?
So let's just bring it back a little bit. We were talking about the difference between somebody like Erykah Badu and Cardi B,
Right.
But you had people like Erykah who were the ones that could bridge that gap, who could stay relevant, who could really capture an audience, but still stayed with the message and didn't sacrifice that for the sake of being part of the vibe. I think millennials are a culture that we're the ones, like you said, the transition. We're the transition generation that's going to be that's going to dictate how the generations after us, our siblings and stuff, are able to follow that path that bridges the sensory and the vibe and the vision.
No, I totally agree. That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah.
What?
Light or dark side.
Right.
Living in ambiguity.
Living in ambiguity. Yeah, that's a big one.
So, okay, question: how old is Cardi B? Does anyone know?
Fuck how old she is. She's got a fake ass and she sucks dick. Like,
Damn,
she she trying to be on top. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she suck dick, you eat pussy.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's cool.
Just
right.
It don't fucking matter how old she is.
It does matter because what I'm asking was what generation she's a part of. I want to see like
shit. She part of this generation. She on Instagram. She using these tools. She knows how to use them. Like, she basically is.
Yeah,
she is completely immersed in what we're talking about in terms of
the fact is that. If she's a part of the generation that me
you better hold that mic close to your mouth. I can't hear what the fuck you saying, nigga.
If she's a part of the generation that me and Noah were just trying to elaborate on, then that means
Flowing
that
ass motherfucker.
shut the fuck up, bitch. Is she a part of the generation in which she's made a conscious decision to say, I'm gonna forego the transition and just be all about the era
I know
after?
for a fact Cardi B is under 30 years old.
She's 24.
24, there you go.
Holy shit.
That's what I'm saying, John. So you
She
see, it's
prime.
like she's
approaching 21.
so she's a part of that. But it's like she stepped in and said, "Look, I'm gonna actually forego this whole idea of message and vibe and media and do one or the other, rather than kind of bring us into an age of where we understand that it can be about message and being a part of media." That was my reason for asking how old she is, because you would think. What generation are you serving, essentially?
Whichever generation pays you.
That's what I'm saying. But people like us, we're part of this generation where I was talking about the transition, where we're like, it's not about how much you're paying me. It's still about getting ahead, but it's also about effectively getting ahead and also contributing.
I want to have a purpose. You feel me? I want to like build other people up and do what I love. Like,
hell yeah.
At the end of the day, what has proven to be one of the most important things about society since the beginning of mankind? But story. Yeah. And like, at what point are you sacrificing story? Like, everybody's story needs to be told. Everybody's story needs to be heard. And I think that those are facts of life that are often overlooked when it comes to the arts.
Story needs to be told because you can't be forgotten, bro. You feel me? Nobody wants to be forgotten.
Shit, nobody wants to be forgotten because they just want to be secure. They want to be knowing that death is upon them. They just want to be like, oh, what kind of story can I own? But at the same time, I'm afraid how to use my time. Like, I'm scared. Like, that's literally what people deal with. So, you have like people like Cardi B just trying to like, hey, I'm just going to say I'm going to suck some dick to fucking,
right.
go down in history. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
Dealing with ambiguity.
That's it. Ambiguity in the
Dude,
gray.
That's good shit.
Shit. At what point?
That's what Apple taught me.
Dude, I'll never forget in court they said that they were like, why is the apple on the little brochure, why is it gray? Because there's a gray area for apple. I'm like, what does that mean? That there's just this ambiguity that exists. And it's
I fucking hate ambiguity.
And it's
We
like,
need to be
that's the thing.
transparent. Nowadays,
dude.
look, everything that's going on in the world, you need to say this. A spade is a spade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. We have motherfuckers. This is everywhere. This is just how I feel in terms of everywhere that I experience retail life. You have motherfuckers that walk in your store saying, do you speak Spanish? You have motherfuckers that walk into the store saying, I need this specifically. I think what happens is we need to just be straightforward and be like, no, nigga, we ain't got nobody right now for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to take time to understand what we're creating is actually a big ass monster. Because at what point do you say, hey, we actually do not have a resource for that right now? Like,
But the fact that you would have to say that is the problem. Because I think you should be able to. I think. At what point does being straightforward exclude?
Yeah.
I think straightforwardness is needed though, because.
But I think the point of dealing with ambiguity is you can still get a message across, but you're also not telling anybody no.
I think
You're not turning
that's
people
why
away.
Apple did that. Yeah.
Well, let me give you
think
an
that's
example.
their message. It's not turning someone away.
So many people are in the gray
Yeah.
that are ignored.
So let me ask you
Let's
this.
bring this to that level.
Let's go full circle with it in terms of what happens with people who are doing music that should not be doing music. There's people that have been told from that ambiguity standpoint of like, oh, like I don't want to tell you that you're bad. I don't want to tell you that you're good.
I would push back on that and say there's nobody who shouldn't be doing music. I think if you're creating, if you're creating and your heart's in it, in my opinion, the people who shouldn't be doing music are the people who lack vision by choice for the sake of a vibe, for the sake of the sensory,
for the chase of that green.
Right. Same. That's what I'm saying. Like,
for
the pleasure.
But the thing is, their
for the
vision,
sinful pleasure.
Their vision could
Tie
be
it back.
that they want to get all this money and whatnot, so that they could achieve whatever it is at the end of the tunnel.
I see both points.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people who pursue that because they want a certain vision, dream, whatnot.
Yeah.
I just got Aaron to agree with us.
It's okay.
The people who ride the middle line, they're able to do both for the sake of an end goal, for the sake of a
I would
purpose.
never say I agree with someone. I'll say I agree with someone by saying the same fucking story just differently.
Stupid bitch. I hate when you fucking do. Yeah, dude. Literally,
Repeating what you said,
verbatim.
like in the most subtle way, like he's trying to say I agree with you, but motherfucker.
But I want to still put my own. Yeah.
Basically telling
What
you
a
Make sure
dumb
I'm making
bitch. I
I'm
hate
putting
that.
my own vibe on it.
Stupid fuck.
you trying to say
My
no.
own sauce.
Dumb motherfucker. Right.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this though.
John.
I low key do believe today in society there is such thing as a stupid question.
What?
I do believe
There's no such
that's
thing as a stupid question.
no. I
There's
do.
only such thing as
There are stupid questions
people.
nowadays.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, John.
Is there a stupid question?
It's not.
Because there's stupid people
Yeah,
Stupid people
that form stupid
Ain't no
questions.
stupid-
Yeah,
ain't
dude.
no stupid question.
It's not. It's stupid motherfuckers.
It's just the
that-
questions
yeah.
they weren't formulated
Nigga
properly.
walk into the store. Sir, so you're gonna have to wait 2 hours for your appointment. Why can't I get seen right now? You're walking at fucking 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Don't be an idiot. Exactly. It's like
we're about to close in an hour. What do you mean? You feel me? What do you
no.
mean?
That as simple as yeah.
Is there some way you could speed up this process? I have money.
People don't know how to evolve with their questions.
People don't know how to. What do you mean?
People get
evolve?
older. People get older. People should theoretically get wiser, right? They get older, they grow, they progress in society, but they're still asking the same damn questions.
How they progress?
right.
No,
They're
I know exactly what he's saying.
They're not learning. Like I think of,
How they progress?
I think
No.
of a coworker. Probably shouldn't say her name.
I actually think of a fucking like grandma right now.
I think of one of actually one of our coworkers that I'm not gonna say her name, but should not be asking the kind of questions.
Hours right here. Is it past 12 o'clock? This is what happens.
Should not be asking the questions that she's still asking.
I see what you're saying. You're saying as you progress,
a dumbass that don't know how to evolve.
As you progress in life, and as you grow in life, there's certain things that you should not be asking anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I should not be asking what's 2 + 2. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, I practiced that shit for a long ass time. That ain't progress. Exactly. Yeah, and I see with technology nowadays, like people need to understand how to progress with it. Use it as a tool. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that, you feel me? But sometimes some people ask those questions, you feel me? Especially like at work, because it's like, they don't know this, but it's like, is this nigga under the influence? You feel me? Because it's like a lot of people in jobs like that are under the influence because it's like, dude, I got to deal with this fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I'm not trying to be here. So what it's like, oh, nigga, how we do that again? What? They told us in court. How the fuck you not know?
Right.
Nigga, you not don't pay attention to this shit. I'm doing other stuff. I'm
You
about to
do
leave
this shit
bitch.
every day. How are you still asking this question?
Nah, man. Sometimes, people forget, but yeah, I feel that though. But nah, man, low key, like some people I know, like they'll be like on some shit. You feel me? Like on some shit on the clock.
I can't stand Chinese niggas.
What? Dog.
The fuck?
I just can't. I'm sorry. I need to come out.
Wait,
As a racist.
Let me just say this. Let me just say
As
this.
a racist.
What I just can't stand is this. The aggression and the I don't know, just the rudeness of what happens when you put a fucking 5.5-inch screen in front of some niggas and say,
No. Perfect example, Aaron, of at what point does being direct become excluding?
Exactly.
You're seeing it as
literally
exclusive.
just excluded.
You're seeing it as exclusive just because they're being direct.
My way is better than theirs.
You know?
My culture is better than their culture. Sociologists, did you study this shit?
I'm just gonna say this. I'm trying to have a fucking utopia, okay?
Ethnocentrism.
So you cancel a group of people. Aaron, you
don't
are
he sound like Hitler?
a white supremacist.
He sound like Hitler.
In time.
Hey man, all I'm saying is I'm trying to have utopia. No fucking chinks. You feel me? Get rid
You're a
of 'em.
racist bitch.
That's what he said. Dude, he laughing about this shit.
Fuck? Bitch, I ain't racist. I'm just being straightforward.
You literally just
I
said
ain't racist.
Look, let me tell you something.
Donald Trump says the same thing.
Yes.
I ain't racist. I'm the least racist person. The
I'm
blacks,
just saying,
they
you know,
love me. I'm just being direct.
There's a time and place for everything.
I
and
got
I just
gay
can't
friends.
stand
What the fuck?
No,
I can't stand it 80% of the time.
but so you don't understand, like you don't like the people, or you don't like the behavior.
Man, I gotta deal with Chinese inflated swollen battery phones all day long. I ain't gonna tell them to stop coming.
I don't like the behavior. I don't like the behavior.
You better than that. The mentality.
You better than that. Have you been
They
to
should
Beijing?
conform, right? They should conform.
Did I conform?
They should.
Exactly. Yeah, you better than
no.
that.
The chink nigger should conform.
My thing is this. I think people who come to this country should assimilate.
Why?
They should not forget who they are, but they should assimilate to a certain
That's
extent.
not what America was meant to be.
The whole point is to call it a melting pot, not because forget your ways and just be.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
The thing at the bottom of the Statue of Liberty says, "Bring us your weary, you're broken, you're impoverished." Blah blah blah.
I mean,
it's
get what
about
you're trying
bringing,
to do,
bringing
but your
culture.
execution is way
It's
off.
about bringing culture.
I think this is the thing. I think sometimes we have too much acceptance where people come in and they just operate accordingly, right? They still create whatever it was outside, they bring it in. So I'll tell you this. The other day, this fucking chick was telling me how her fucking neighbor was throwing the dog outside. And she was like, why are you throwing the dog outside? And he's like, oh, because it's trash. I'm just going to throw it out. So at what point do you really say, oh, we accept everything? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to assimilate to a certain extent. That's why I said full circle. Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like, coming in here with the expectation that I should know Spanish,
But there's
not accepting the fact that you've been here 20 years and you're not learning. You know what I'm saying? So it goes back to the learning thing. How do we progress?
But I think there's a difference between accepting and I mean, I see what you're saying.
Low
Don't get me
key,
wrong.
I'm blatant on purpose just to get
I
stir
get what
the
you're
pot.
saying.
You know
I
what I
get what
mean?
you're saying. But
No, bitch, don't try to save yourself now.
Hey, bitch, I be saying this shit all the
I
time
feel it. But why'd you say that thing about that girl with the dog?
because that's truth.
I see what he's saying. He said,
That's
I don't
true.
understand why.
So what
why
there's a
happened
difference
was-
between, but there's
So
a
Why
difference
is
it
that
goes to
why
this.
is that
Culturally, you know where they're
significant?
from? I'll be honest. They're
Why
from
is that
Mexico.
significant?
It's
so-
significant because
so
this
you're
is the thing.
You're tying ignorance with the Latino culture.
What
That's
I'm
what you're
tying
tying.
is ignorance exists outside the United States, and when it comes into the United
Ignorance
States, it should not
exists in
exist.
all cultures.
but
You know what I'm saying?
ignorance exists, maybe probably even more so in the United States because
Shit.
because we've
Because
been
we got some
trained-
honkies over
Bro,
here still
I forgot
fucking
what
supporting
country-
Donald Trump
Yo,
and shit.
I
you know
forgot-
what I'm saying?
I forgot what
We've been
country it was,
trained
dog.
to love utopia.
I forgot what country it was in the fucking continent of Africa. This nigga said, "Don't eat the boo boo." The you know what I'm talking about the talking about the ass. Don't eat the poo poo.
Yeah,
Because
don't eat the poo-poo.
when you eat the poo poo, you feel me? Like you're gonna go to hell essentially, and they would like fuck those people up. So
And I think there's a difference in between
ignorance is everywhere.
assimilation and ethics. Like there is a code, like a basic code of ethics among just humankind, and that should be enforced. You don't want to throw an animal out and call it trash and put its life at stake. That's like a basic human ethic.
He's
in any
saying that's
culture.
not tied to culture.
But there's a difference between
I think ethics and
enforcing
culture are tied.
ethic and being no. You have to assimilate to the American way.
I see what you're saying though, Aaron, because a friend of mine, and I've had a few Asian friends who I've worked with in film, and every one of them has to some extent.
Did they
told
cheat
me,
you over?
No, they to some extent have told me how rude another race, specifically Chinese within the Asian community, can be. So like Aaron's saying more so like when you come here, they still
That's
be they still are behaving.
That's a miscommunication, though. That's a miscommunication because in their culture, it's true. The meaning
Right,
to
that's
them
what I'm
is
saying.
true.
So
if we come from different cultures, I don't understand you because you're from a different culture.
Right, but I'm more so just acknowledging that
happens-
Aaron isn't completely. I think it's just his execution and what he's trying to
No,
say
I
is
can
wrong.
understand. No, because I can understand the rudeness and the aggression and like
But
the
you are
kind of
wrong.
take advantage of your neighbor type of thing. Because the thing is, you're in a fucking country with 1.4 billion people. You have to fucking take
But
advantage.
do they see it that way? That's what I'm
they
saying.
probably see it as they need to fucking move.
No,
See,
what I'm
that's a
saying,
good question,
in their
John. I don't
culture,
think we
they
can
don't see
answer
it
that.
way.
Yeah, maybe
we're
to
from
them
a
it's
different
not
culture.
rude. So, but the point is that he told me that he culturally he understands that that's how they operate. He was like they put their feet up on the airport like.
But that's still how we perceive it.
Right, but I'm saying like at some point, when is that not acceptable? Like at some point, you do have to realize, okay, this is not right.
To them, it's right.
But John, so just because it's right to me doesn't mean I can walk around and call a dog a fish.
No, but I'm saying like if he's talking about like we're talking about just cultural shit, right? We're not talking about like things we perceive as rude that they see as normal. To them, it's normal. So who defines what's rude and who defines what's normal? That's what I'm saying. Because all
So
these
then
groups are
you don't have
different.
any order at that point.
Nah, I get you. I
all
get
groups
what
are
you're saying
different.
because you have to understand context. You
Yeah,
can't
for
take.
sure.
You have to adapt to context, but that doesn't mean you have to change who you are.
Exactly.
Or be ashamed or
Right, you not putting your feet on my back
Suppress
of my
yourself.
foot or the back of my seat does not equate to you suppressing who you are culturally.
Right.
It's just respecting that there's just certain things you just probably shouldn't do when you are somewhere else. Now maybe it works wherever you come from, but at some point you learn that, oh wait, maybe this is not right. You see what I'm saying?
I
see why you
I
can't,
don't,
and it's
I
just
don't see
like-
anyone else putting their feet up. Why?
But then I agree
Maybe
with
I
John.
shouldn't do that.
Everyone's perspective is different, bro. You feel me? Like there's certain shit I get pissed off that fucking rich ass, fucking pretentious ass, Neil ass niggas fucking do. You feel me?
Right.
But you
it's
say
like
perception. Let me ask you this.
everyone's coming from different backgrounds. So
But what happens if? Do you think it's okay to take a shit in public in a amusement park?
shit in public.
Yeah, because you can easily.
Obviously, I'll say no, but I'm saying like to everyone is different. We could run into like an indigenous fucking group and somewhere in the rainforest we never fucking found. You feel me? And those niggas will say yes.
There's actually a bomb documentary about
to
something.
Aaron's point, what he's saying is that if you've been here long enough to then adapt and see that taking a shit in the amusement park is wrong, and you're still not doing it, That's the issue.
But we're not talking about that. I was talking about different cultures.
But that's what he's saying.
So he's talking about essentially, I've been here for like, let's say like 4 years or something.
Right.
Like, why did so that's a whole different story then.
But that's where he was coming from.
But hold on. But that person came into the culture with a different culture, and you've been here for an extended amount of time. So of course, motherfucker, you should learn. But I'm saying like on first encounter, obviously there's going to be miscommunications because we're coming from two different worlds.
But I'm saying
that's what I'm saying.
He was
I'm
talking
not even
about
talking
time.
about that.
Yeah, he was talking
for
about.
sure. I see that too.
He was talking about the actual length of time, like after someone has been here.
Yeah, I'm talking about the length of time. I'm
and
talking
then
about
you're still operating in a mindset of where there's just some shit that you still haven't grasped.
It's what we experience every day, even when we go to the grocery store. Hey, excuse me, you speak Spanish? Like, nigga, what? Like, what the fuck you mean? You know?
So now but then that's when I can't agree with that because it's like
Right. Like that.
all they know is
ignorance.
Spanish. Like so, like it's
Right.
not something where it's learned instantly to speak
Well, I
English.
can't agree with that because the thing is, the
They
reason
can't
why
learn
I can't
English.
agree with that is just because I have been around people whose families have been here forever and they do not want to learn English because they say, oh, that's acting white or that's acting educated or that's acting something else. Because the thing is, deeply in a lot of cultures, acting something that is not your foreign root or your roots and is foreign to your roots, you for sure are not going to be dabbling in that. That's why you'll have people here who have been like, oh yeah, I've been here like 30 years and motherfucker can't even fucking write a sentence in English. You know what I'm saying? So at what point do you say, okay, this isn't acceptable?
Hold up. I get what you're saying, but you're bitter and you got to let it go. You got to let those niggas be those niggas. You feel me? Because I know exactly who you're talking about. And it's just like, let those people be those people. You feel me? And that's it. Because I felt the energy behind what I felt the energy, bro. You're like, you know, what would you say? Something like they will never learn English. And I was like, God damn, this nigga has hate, feel anger
inside you.
Yeah, dog. So low key, dog, you gotta watch yourself because you time out. Hold up. We diverse as fuck, okay? But you low key hate and despise Latino culture. You hate it.
No. What I hate and despise is the
you
lack.
Hate your last name.
No. The hate that I have is the hate to not want to change. The lack of desire to want to change because you automatically assume.
No, I get that, but then literally you're like the whole culture is trash. You feel me? But
you
low key,
did say that though.
I feel you.
Hey, the whole culture. I'm gonna be
Time
honest
out.
with you. The whole culture in LA is trash. It really is because the whole culture in LA is no. The whole culture
You're so
in LA.
good at deflecting. You should be a politician, bro.
Nah, I ain't no politician here.
You've
you know
been
what I'm saying?
deflecting my whole life. That's why that whole thing with the dog shit. That girl threw out a dog. I said, nigga, how does it go from air racist to a girl threw out a dog? I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey.
But nah, man.
The thing
you
is,
have points. You have points. You have points. You feel me? But all I'm saying is that you fucking you fucking got hate behind your tone, bro. So you just gotta watch it. Like the dark side is strong in that area.
Hey, the dark side is strong in the area of everyone should be. This is just what I believe in at the end of the day. There's just people who need to understand that you have luggage wherever you go. You have bags wherever you go of information, cultures, ethics, relationships, whatever. You have all of that. What I'm saying is the stuff that you basically feel like it's like this. When someone says, "Oh, you're acting white in the black community," what they're basically saying is you're acting educated. You see what I'm saying? That's what I don't like. I don't like when cultures say you're acting a certain way.
Saying that is inherently racist.
For sure.
Oh yeah, people who say that.
They're saying
saying that acting white is educated is inherently racist.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's. What do you mean?
It's racist.
Expand.
That's a.
I see what you're
white
saying.
is educated is something that white people have portrayed.
Oh yeah,
in culture
for sure.
As a racist ploy, saying that if you're not white, you're not as cultured or educated as us, so you'll never be as successful as us. So when people say when people of color say, "Oh, you acting white," like they don't mean it in a sense of you're acting educated. That's what you think, but they mean it as in I'm not color, so I'm assuming.
I'm coming from the experience in terms of I agree with you on that, but the reason why I come at it like that is
dumb or you're acting ignorant because white people are so ignorant to think that because they're white, they're more educated.
100%, I agree with that. 100%.
Hold on, Aaron.
And
I
I
think
think-
you were just talking about like in the black community, like what they would say, not what you're saying, right? 'Cause I
Yeah.
think
I'm
there's
not
some
saying what I'm
confusion.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is in other communities where they say you're acting like white, what they mean is you're acting educated. I saw that
Like
mostly
if you
in
speak educated and well.
Exactly.
Oh, he thinks
So
he's white now.
The reason why I
he's
say that
better than us. It's not
Exactly.
even that energy, bro. But the thing is, like, that's the hating energy of like.
But I think that it's
the minority group.
No, I actually understood that.
Noah has it. He's
What
Nigga, you
I'm
better
saying,
grab this mic if you trying to talk. Get your lazy ass up.
He flipped it on his head. No, finish. No, I know what you're saying.
what I'm saying is they say that negatively. Oh, you acted educated. You're talking all right, all that stuff, because white people throughout society have made that the cultural norm to be white and to speak
for sure. But first
with
of all,
that white accent.
white people in this country had the education. Yes or no?
Yes, but that's,
Okay, that's
but
how
they
it
had
started.
That, but
That's
they
how
had
it
that
started.
because
That's how it started. That's
Right.
the
But-
time out.
but-
No,
no, hold on.
That's the
You're
first.
missing a key
that's
part of
the
history.
first. Time out, nigga. That's the first. That's the first one.
white people
That's the
had the
first one. Go
education
to the sec-
because they
go to the second.
impoverished people of color.
For sure. That's the
agree.
first one. But time out. Who's white? Who's white?
I am.
No, no, you're not. What the fuck your family from?
Oh man,
Where's your family from?
Ireland and Mexico.
So you're not white.
Pretty much.
You're not white. Because the first white people were from England. They were Protestants who left the Catholic Church because they were being persecuted. Then they came here and they said, fuck, how the fuck are we gonna survive? Oh shit, there's these fucking red people. You feel me? They can help us. No. They said they can help us because we don't know shit. Then they helped them survive the first couple winters, maybe 2, 3.
And then
not so
genocide.
bad. Yeah, then they were like, you know what, man? Like, we don't need these niggas anymore. Let's fucking kill them and let's rape their bitches. You feel me? That's why you have, like, you know, quote unquote, some people you think they're white. Like, Colin, damn, I have Native American. Yeah, nigga, how the fuck you think that happened? You feel me? How you think we happened? We're a result. How you think we have African? Somebody got fucking raped. You feel me? Or there was maybe some kind of old love line. Hopefully Disney made a love line. That shit was good. But what I'm saying is, wake your ass up. What I'm saying, like that Biggie song, wake your ass up. Oh. But what I'm saying is, that's where it first started. And then too, like, it's interesting because it was like Protestant, Catholic, and then Jew. And then essentially down the line, when the white numbers started dwindling, they're like, oh shit, Irish, they're white too. Italian, they're white too. But the thing is, like, they came in waves as immigrants. They were all working class laborers. You feel me? At one point, the Irish, right? They were laborers, but then slowly they bump up. But the thing is, what you're saying, then go to your point about education. What are you saying about education? But that's the first part, right? That's the first story.
But what I'm saying is that didn't come. That wasn't a pure beginning. The beginnings of white people in North American continent and that bringing over the education wasn't a pure beginning. It wasn't all right. It came because, like, with it came the racism from England, came baggage, right? And they continued to operate upon those basic principles, those negative principles. And that's how we get to where we are today.
Oh, for sure. You're absolutely
the
right.
Indian genocide, and we have slavery and everything.
You're absolutely right. That is the emotion behind it.
Everything stems from the negative.
For sure. But what I'm saying is, like, they were able to do that though because they had the position. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't have the position, that wouldn't have happened. But the thing is though, another group would have done it. You feel me? So in the end of the day, whatever group, whoever the fuck it is, you feel me? Whoever, fucking the Solarians from fucking Mass Effect and shit, what they did to the fucking the Genophage.
Here's the perfect example.
What I'm
Get the
saying.
Spanish.
But I'm saying the position is important first. That's what I'm saying. Like, and then the feelings come. So nobody could do anything unless they have a position of power. Right? So that's where the whole, like, education's first, and then that ideology of, oh, you think you're white, you think you're being better than us, and you're leaving the group,
it's like
whatever. But it's like, nah, man, I'm trying to better my life, and you guys are just hating. So it comes full circle. It's hate in all obstacles, like hate to, like, keep people down and to fucking do bad shit, and then hate from the downside because, you know, they're trying to progress or whatever. And then two people get put in a box. You feel me? It's like, oh, this person's this way. You know, he's black, you got to be that way. He's Chinese, he got to be that way. He's Indian, he got to be that way. Everyone gets placed in boxes because humans like to categorize. Humans like to This is a square.
Humans
this is
in
a
power
triangle.
like to categorize.
This is a circle. Humans in power like to categorize.
It's
But I think
it's
humans
the
in
same
general-
thing,
But
like. No, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say it's like the Spanish and like the English. They had the wealth. So at the end of the day, it was wealth that kind of like created all of this. Because like you said, it depends on who got here first. Who was gonna get here first? So if you look at the West Coast, the ones who own the West Coast. If you think about it, the ones who who really own the West Coast are like Chinese. Going back to Chinese is because they have the wealth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're saying who really is controlling this is the ones who have the wealth.
For sure. Those are the ones that on some Assassin's Creed shit. Those are the ones that are in power. When you think even back further to like America, right? Who quote unquote is essentially white. Like white is European. You feel me? Like in the Latino culture, to be white is to be more Spanish. You feel me? You're more pure.
I see what
but
you're
if
saying.
you got the Africano on you, that's dirty. That's sucio. You feel me? Like you're less Spanish than us. So yeah, it's essentially European because the Europeans were the ones who brought everything. You feel me? Like they're the ones who brought the church. They're the ones who brought the wealth. They're the ones who took over and even in fucking Africa, you feel me? There are more like Africans in there than fucking Europeans, but the Europeans came in and they were just like, how we gonna cut this bitch up? Hey, you, Matumbo, bring me fucking tires and shit. Matter of fact, yeah, that's all. You know what I'm saying? They just run shit. Like, niggas are really good at delegating tasks. But, yeah. But low key though, the Asian empires
always remember beginnings and
always remember beginnings.
the beginnings of white oppression came from England.
Yeah.
And came from taking an act of taking something forcefully, and that has never changed.
I feel like
and I think because of that, we have all these in other communities. We have things that reference that, whether it's when we're talking about education, whether we're talking about money or status or whatever. It's all because it all stems from somewhere, and that somewhere that it stems from is not pure. It's not something you can just say like, oh, well, Americans were immigrants too. Like, sure, but we also took by force because we had power and status and money.
Exactly. Yep.
Agreed.
Clap, 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 clap. Sin.
Titi. Ta. What happened, JB? You falling asleep over there?
No, I'm still. I think we completely missed what Noah was trying to say.
I think so too, but it's okay.
Take the mic and go back to it, nigga.
Redefine.
Because I was over here trying to unpackage it, but
No, you trying to wake up. I see you picking up the
y'all
jewel from
dumb
the
folks
side.
was too busy over talking him. Y'all didn't really get what he was trying to say, so I need you to shut the fuck up. But
It'd be better coming from you, anyways.
no, I'm
Because
it's
for me.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Because it's not from me. It's not coming from a first-hand type of experience. It's
Nah, bro.
You know,
chill,
what
chill,
I've been told
chill,
and read.
chill.
Listen.
chill. Time out. Time
He's
out.
gonna- but
time
I'm saying,
out. No,
I can get the basic.
No, we
but
gonna have a conversation.
He's gonna unpack it
We
better.
gonna have no. We gonna have a conversation.
Let him
No,
feel
he's
it.
gonna talk.
Wait,
The
stop.
vibe.
Wait,
But
it's too many people talking.
I just need to say something no
The
before he
vibe
goes
is
in.
gonna
happen. Go
No,
ahead,
because
bro.
I think there's a miscommunication. When we're talking here, bro, like there's no such thing as race. You feel me? So you're not perceived in any way that you're different.
Man,
you
but
feel
that,
me?
even saying that is inherently racist.
No, there's one. How's it inherently racist? There's only
Because-
one race, human fucking race, bro.
Nah, because
that's it.
But that's the same thing as
race
saying all
an
lives matter.
ideolo- No.
I see what you're saying, though.
You know, this is
No.
this. Hold on.
No, check
This is
this
what I
out.
was getting to. This refreshed me.
Nah, bro.
This is what I was getting to
Let
originally
him
though.
finish
Before
because he didn't get to finish last time.
But I want him to know.
I think he know, but that's the thing. He
They
does
knows.
know.
They do know.
No, it does.
No.
I see what you're saying, John. You
No,
also
I'm
saying
sa-
it's not about like because of the fact that he's white that he can then say that being black that I would be able to articulate it because that doesn't necessarily define the actual statement he's going to make. I see what you're saying, but he's more so saying that in saying that it's inherently.
let's
let him
bring it around. Let's bring it full
Racism-
circle. Hey, full
racism-
circle. Full circle. Full
Race is a
circle.
social construct.
Yeah,
Full circle.
for sure.
Bring it full circle. He's gonna be able to ride that dividing line between vision and vibe better than I could.
Because of the experience.
Because I'm gonna acknowledge his experience as different than mine instead of saying we all the same. You say we all the same, you immediately discredit the individual the experiences of the individual.
I'm not saying that. You're misinterpreting.
But that's
I'm
what.
saying
But that's the delivery. though.
Biologically.
his point. JB,
No. Go ahead, John. I'm straight. No, this.
No, I want
I'm
to hear
good.
this.
I'm good. Go ahead, John. Finish.
I'm saying biologically, we are all the
Hold
same.
the mic. Hold the mic up.
I'm saying biologically, we are all the same. We just go through different things because of social constructs that were created, that are forced in our environment that we have to live by. But I'm saying, you are not that, you are not that, I am not that, and he is not that. So do not let that hold you subject to your ways. I know we live different lives and we're called certain names and we have different experiences. But what I'm saying is, in this room between us, that shit doesn't exist. You feel me? And it shouldn't exist. But there's been a point in my life that I take that shit out my brain. You feel me? Because of course we have different experiences for sure. No,
because it's gonna help me learn.
No,
it's for growth,
bro. You got chains on you. You feel me? That you gotta take off. That's what I'm saying. That shit's holding us back. That shit's holding us back.
I don't think
as human beings,
being able to empathize.
We gotta wait till aliens come here, bro, so we could be like, we're the same.
The ability to empathize does
white
not
people
equal.
were those aliens at one point.
Who?
I said white people were those aliens at one point.
But the thing is, we weren't in touch with each other.
What do you mean, John?
We weren't in touch with each other on a global level, bro. When bro, see, I'm too into fucking like sociology and shit. That's why I see shit different. No, what I'm saying is, check this out. The fucking the Aztecs, bro. When they saw Cortez, bro, they thought he was a fucking god. You feel me? Just based off the color of his skin, because they're like, yo, this guy's fair skin, like, and according to their legend, this and that, he's a god, right? Because they never encountered another human being like that. So the thing is, like, we've seen each other, right? Samuel Morton was the one who created race, bro, back in like 1526 between the different skulls. You feel me? He said on like the African skull, there was like dimples of servitude, right? Which means, right? Yeah. So, and then he said, oh, African, there's Asian, there's white, and then he had he put different attributes for these quote unquote races, but in reality, like none of that shit exists. You feel me?
Saying, John.
Like let's say if
really
we all grew up on an island and we're like 1 year old, none of this shit would exist in our brain. Like you feel me? Like we would just have a whole different reality.
But the thing
we also wouldn't have language.
Reality. So it's
of
like
course,
I'm
a fucking idealist. You feel me? But what I'm saying is, try not to get. I know that's the world, that's the real shit, but don't get trapped in that mentality. Like we could talk about it, but that shit doesn't exist.
But
you feel me?
About it doesn't necessarily equal that we are trapped in it.
Right. No, I think the trap is when you are so narrow-minded.
I think it's like this too. It's like you're walking down a road and you see that there's a pothole in the road. But what you say is, oh, that doesn't exist to me. I'm just going to walk past it. However, what you can say is, hey, there's a pothole in the road. Let me put a cone there so someone else recognizes that that's there. But we don't have to stand by and just dwindle on it and just like, oh, I'm going to spend all my thoughts on why this hole is here. I can say that hole is there. I'm going to walk past it. I'm going to put a sign here so that person knows, hey, this hole is here. Watch by it and continue on your way, you know? And I think
stay practical.
Exactly. And I understand both sides. I understand what you're saying in terms of don't recognize it. You're saying don't recognize it for what it is.
Construct. I totally agree with you, John.
100%.
You have a dope point, but the fact of the matter is that what he said then still exists now, and there are people outside of us who can't necessarily see it like this. So there still has to be some kind of awareness.
Of course, they can't see it like that. You know why they can't see it like that? Because they're fucking trapped.
For sure,
they're fucking trapped. Hold up,
they've been trapped.
Of course, yeah. Who's gonna save them? Who's gonna save them?
But that's what I'm saying.
Hold up, who's gonna save them? Who's gonna save them?
Us.
Thank you.
But you have to be able to have conversations that
be able to relate to
that level first, and then say now it's time to be awoke.
But what I'm saying is that we know that that's their reality.
You have to build the bridge to get them to the other side.
Why can't we do?
You can't just will them to the other side.
Why can't we do something to help them out? You feel me?
Well, that's the whole point of this kind of discussion, because just because we discuss it here doesn't mean it's limited to our thinking. We're also being aware for the people who are listening and saying that this is where you're at now, and we recognize it, but we also want you to get to where we are. So ignoring it and just saying that it doesn't exist and saying, okay, this is where you should be, doesn't necessarily do a lot of coping into helping them understand that we understand.
It's not about
where
coping.
your past struggle is,
It's
but
not
get to
about
the future.
coping.
I think the way, in order for us to connect, is this: recognize the experiences someone has had, but don't overlook them in terms of saying, I know what you're both saying.
Yeah, it's all
And
valid.
basically, all of us, it's all connected. But the main thing is recognize the individual story, but don't dwell on the story. Because in order for you to grow, you have to be able to say,
Especially
"Hey, I
what
recognize
John is
this."
saying when it comes to race, because race doesn't technically is not an actual construct that defines the actual human existence. It was something that was man perceived.
Fam, I don't even know why we have to say technically. You
Well,
feel me?
because
We over here like, technically, it's like, no, nigga, it doesn't. You feel me? So the thing is, like, I know, bro, like, I've been in your shoes. You feel me? I know exactly what you saying.
There is no in my shoes. It's not as if I don't agree with you. It's the fact that there's still people who are not as woke as
for
us.
sure. This is what I'm saying, JB, and y'all misunderstand me on some crazy shit, on some Hitler shit, but not on the dark side.
Right.
We need to. How you think I say we're gonna save them? Because we're on this motherfucking microphone. Wherever we go in life, we need to ingrain this in the mind of the next generation. Fucking Sophia, fucking Joaquin. These motherfuckers are less than 4 years old. So
stop the technically and just say no, I don't exist, fam. And it ain't a thing. Race is not a thing.
We need to feed that in their mind. Just
I
like,
see what you're
bro,
saying.
you see how kids go to school now and like low key. I mean, it's not perfect, but I don't think it's the same with the gay stuff. Like when we were kids, when
Right,
they're
it
like,
wasn't.
"Hey,
It's not-
fucking faggot," and they're
Yeah,
treating
man.
them bad. Like you feel me? Like kids nowadays would be like, "Yo, like that's not so cool." Like obviously there's
Right.
still bad shit, but over time, like hopefully it gets better and better. But you know, we have to just like tell the young generation like the truth and be like, "Yo, man," like on some history shit. Like we're writing a book, but orally we're like, "Look, man, this is where the world fucked up, and hopefully you could take it here, man. We're trying to have this fight on, but nigga, like you're the future because I'm about to die, and you got to take this shit over. So what the fuck?" But when you don't have role models like that, and you talking about licking balls, sucking dick, you feel me? Yeah, like turn up, it's lit. Like that's when niggas get lost because they're just in the vibe and fucking feeling a stimulation, and this is what it is. We can't do nothing. Yeah, you're right. You can't die. You're done.
Well, that's the thing. Like society's always going to shut out the symbols that represent anti the establishment, anti the ideology that's in place. Because it's like, I mean, just look at the content that's actually being articulated in the music today. There's no. It's like what we were talking about in terms of storytelling. There's actual no storytelling in terms of critical analysis and critical. I don't know. Just being deeper than the surface.
They're not amassing any kind of narrative in a critical way that allows you to say, this is what it could mean outside of this context. Everything is very surface as far as, this is a movie. And you will leave knowing that this was a movie. Not this is a movie, but it also made me feel like I need to reevaluate my existence in the world. This is a movie that says, okay, maybe fucking racism is a man-made construct that actually has been taught and generated in a way that produces money and profit, i.e. the justice system and the fucking jail and stuff like. So like that's what art should be doing, is that it's saying, yeah, we realize it's art, but this is how we're actually going to watch this art and leave and know how it affected your life.
Art is a
That's
tool
the
to
problem.
break the chains.
For sure.
Art is a tool
And
to
that's
break
why
the
I'm
chains. That's why they're
struggling in the
cutting
film
out
industry
art
now.
in every single school. They're trying to make sure that creativity cannot spawn anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm
If you're a
saying? Like,
robot,
'cause the
if
thing
you're-
is-
if you're meticulous, if you're a robot, if you know numbers, you know statistics, you're good to go.
You're good to go.
Anything outside of that,
You're an
a
asset for
thinker and
society.
You may be a damage to our very existence.
You are a rebel. You need to be shut down. You need to make sure that. And it's like the music. It's going back to the music. Why does everything sound the same? Everything sounds the same because there is no creativity. There is no individuality anymore, you know? It's like, how do we recognize the individual?
And that goes back to John's point about it just being about the human and not just race, because you're like, I understand it on a larger scale of just it being about people.
But I still just can't think we can just ignore.
No, we can't.
We
But
can't
it-
just ignore the people with oppressed voices. Because
who's ignoring them though?
We gotta bring them into the fold and recognize their story in order to get them to the woke place of we're all together.
Yeah, no one said we're not recognizing their story. What we're saying is we don't accept your views. Like when I have to go and I have to check a different box than my brother, And I'm like, dude, I thought we were fucking the same. That's why I'm like, nah, this is all bullshit. So of course we're not gonna say, nah, man, you know what? Your story's not valid. We're not gonna help you. Shit's not fucked up. Damn, they need clean water in Flint. You feel me? Like, they're not really trying to help you guys out. We're not saying that. You feel me? We're saying like, yes, we're gonna help you. No, you're right. We're gonna be there for you. But at the same time, we're looking at the establishment. We're like, what you're saying is not true, bro. And literally, like, we should like be on some boycott shit on the streets, like saying this shit. Like, but the thing is, like, it's not even. You shouldn't even be boycotting like that anymore. Like, I don't know. Things are different. Like, of course, you got to be out there, but I don't even know if it works like that. Like, you really have to have some internal shit, some internal overtake.
I know a lot of people who feel like the actual Black Lives Matter, the protest, like the actual marches and the rallies are not doing a damn thing. And they might be right because of the fact is that the generation that we live in now is not the same generation that will respond to that 20, 30 years ago.
Well, let me ask you this.
And and as much as I love my people and I love us coming together as a community and saying we stand for this cause, and this is why a lot of people get on their soapbox and say, can we not keep marching and actually do something? And I understand what they're saying is because it's not enough to just march, because today's time, it doesn't work. It seems as if you are a collective group of angry people who are just mobbing against the institution just to say we're against the institution.
But you know what? They said that before. I think it's like Dr. King said. He said a riot is the language of the oppressed.
For sure.
And I think that you have to have a certain sense of uproar in order to spark the flame.
How do you change
to get the leadership?
I know how you change that uproar.
And then the next generation.
But what Martin Luther King did was pivotal for his time.
Right.
We've been talking about how do you evolve, how do you adapt. Well, the society that we live in now does not. It just doesn't respond the same exact way.
No. I'll tell you what. It's not responding because of this. It's not responding because the thing is individuality in terms of like narcissism. In terms of seeking, look, you said Black Lives Matter. Perfect example. I went to the marches during those Black Lives Matter. Everybody that was there was just trying to document that they were there. There was a lot of individuals. I'm not saying everyone, but there was a large majority of people that were there
who just want to be a part of the
wave. Who just want to observe and like kind of document it. Who knows? Maybe they're documenting it in a way that's like, wow, this is amazing. But there were a lot of people who were documenting it in terms of like, I just want to say on social media that I was here. It's like what we're seeing on almost every aspect of anything that happens in terms of popularity. Like, I'm going to do this because it's cool and I'm just going to like go.
The rise of social media has made it a fad, for sure. And that's what I mean, though, is that
I think
it's not enough to keep going to these rallies and it just being a social media fad.
No, but I think
Martin Luther didn't have Snapchat. He didn't have Instagram. So people weren't there just to archive and say, I was there. Yeah. So I think that's the problem that I have with the rallies is that you have people showing up who also just want to be a part of the function for the sake of this new technology and what we're on the cusp of is this wave.
Now, one word. Without Malcolm, there's no Martin. You feel me? Malcolm.
Right, but Malcolm was the more violent riot one.
That's what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? There's the militant violence and there's peace.
You have to be able to have some uproar to spark the fire to get the leaders that we need.
But they listen to the peace though. You feel me? But both of them, they need both of them because it was
and
like
those leaders are the ones.
Shit, these ones are violent. What the fuck? And then like Martin's like, yo, man, we need to, you know what I'm saying? So
and those leaders are the ones that ride the line between the vibe and the vision.
Yep.
They're not so obsessed with the purpose that they are criticizing the vibe, but they're also not so obsessed with the but they're not so obsessed. They're not so obsessed with the vibe. They're not so obsessed with the vibe that they lack vision, and they're just obsessed with social media, like you're saying. The DeRay McKessons of the world that are, meeting with the president and sitting in on Congress sessions and holding.
That's the stuff that matters.
Those are the people,
I don't mind a rally,
but we would never get those people if it weren't for the beginning. Now, I do think that, since Charleston, we're getting a lot of marching and rioting and all the Antifa stuff that is noise, for sure. Noise for the sake of noise and for the sake of, being part of something that you don't actually want to do the grunt work to be a part of. But I think that you need movement in order to go forward.
My thing is it doesn't have to be a march to be a movement. That's my stance. I think that what you're saying is that it's not enough to just march and then go home and say, okay, I marched. But it is going into the actual Oval Office and making executive decisions and actually having.
You
these
just got to be
conversations.
actionable in everything you do. You have to be
For
effective in
sure.
everything.
I don't
that
think
you
it's
do.
just enough to just march.
No, yeah, hell no.
No.
You have this is what I feel. I feel like you should do the march, get inspired by it, and say, hey, okay, how am I going to impact my community? Because
Exactly.
that's what it comes down to: is how am I going to impact my community? How am I really going to change the people around me? If you're over here still running in the streets saying "World Star," you're not fucking changing the culture. You know what I'm saying? You're really
Right.
not changing the culture. You're literally saying, hey, I went to the march. I went to the march
For a laugh.
and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna say World Star while I was just at the march last week. You are
said you
literally
want
doing the
your people
complete
to get fucked
opposite
up.
of what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
World Star.